Okay, we're getting started here. Hello, everyone. My name is Robin Shaw, and I am your teacher today. I am coming live from South Korea. That's where I live and work. And I know some of you are not watching live, you'll watch this later. Welcome to you if you're watching this tomorrow, next week, or next year, maybe. Well, I activated my Google. All right, today, another grammar lesson. We're going to do the third conditional. Over the past month and a half, I did zero conditional, first conditional, zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional. Today is the third conditional. And then next week, we'll have a test on all the conditionals. All right. And before we begin, let's just take a look at who's here. Layla, Jatoth, Vishnu, hello. Aman, Halim, hello. Tika, Shokba, hello. Sleepwalker, and Win, and just Chilmar's here. Lolly, hello from France. Ali, Ji-Young's here. Oh, hello, Ji-Young. And Andre, Marasani, Prasanth, Marcelo. Okay, we got a lot of people here. And remember, this is not an English Q&A. I'm just doing the lesson today, and then after the lesson, I will stop. I am doing English Q&A if you are there. If you are a member, after this show, I will do English Q&A, but that's for members only. And I will be back Wednesday for a public English Q&A, so you guys can watch. You can bring your questions on Wednesday if you have any questions. All right, let's get started. I'll just quickly say hello to Manu, Saraj, and Sashintha Fernando. Welcome. All right, third conditional. All right, that's what we're talking about tonight. And as I said, I did the zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional. You can find those videos on this channel. Next week is a test on everything. So make sure you are practice with make sure you practice with those previous videos, because I'm going to have a test on all conditionals, and that'll happen next Sunday. All right. So as always, I will go through the lesson, then we'll have some practice time, and then some final questions. All right, here's the rule. Now, the third conditional is probably the most difficult, right, guys? Because there's a lot of grammar going on. And here's the rule. You start with if. You see the if there, and then you have the past perfect. Had studied, and then she would. You could use would. You could use would have, could have, should have. But we're going to focus just on would in this video because I don't want to make it too complicated. She would, in the past, have plus past participle passed the exam. All right, so that's the rule for the third conditional. So let's practice this. Now, when you're using the third conditional, you're talking about something in the past that did not happen. All right, it didn't happen. Remember, we want to use if. It's a conditional. We have to imagine it did happen. It didn't happen, but we have to imagine it did happen. And then we have to imagine if that happened, what would be the result? So we have a lot of imagination going on. All right, because none of this happened. The action didn't happen, and the result didn't happen. So the example there, if I had taken a taxi, all right, so I'm talking about the past, let's say last night. If I had taken a taxi, I didn't take a taxi, but let's imagine if I had taken a taxi, I wouldn't have missed my flight. All right. So I did miss my flight yesterday, but if I had taken the taxi, I wouldn't have missed my flight. A little bit complicated, the third conditional, but that's what we're going to practice today. All right, let's go on. So practice one. Let's just go into whether these are conditional, the third conditional or not. Is this the third conditional, yes or no? If it had rained, you would have gotten wet. This is tight. Is this the third conditional? Carrie, no. Layla, you got to write third RD. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right, I'll just give a couple more seconds to get some late answers in. Is this the third conditional? Yes, yes, yes. So far, only Carrie put no question mark. All right. And yes, it is. We can see we have the if. Everything requires if in conditionals. If it had rained, and then you would have gotten wet. All right. So we have the past perfect and have and past participle. That's all there. So that, yes, this is the third conditional. And Gerson, if I haven't found your YouTube channel, I wouldn't have met you, Robin. Yep, that's right. I met Gerson in El Salvador last February. All right, practice 2. Is this third conditional? I would have told her if I had seen her. Vishnu says no. Everyone else says yes. Interesting. Vishnu, for practice 1, you said yes, but for this one, you're saying no. Why are you saying no? And I think everyone's voting yes, 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 yes. And yep, I would have told if I had seen her. And yes, this is third conditional. All right, so if you see again, if you have in this one, I'm so many things happening here. In this one, the if is moved to the middle. Remember, with most conditional sentences, we can change where the if goes. So it can start at the if clause. It could start at the beginning. It could go it could be the second clause. All right, so don't be confused if that if clause moves around. So I would have told her if I had seen her. We could also say if I had seen her, I would have told her. All right, it's the same sentence. Conditions are based on if. All right, let's go on to number 3. Is this the third conditional? Yes or no? If you had bought a lottery ticket, you might have won. Carrie says no. Jiyoung, yes. Sleepwalker, yes. Layla says yes. Carrie and Win, why do you say no? Why do you say no? Everyone else is saying yes. Even Vishnu says yes. Vishnu, do you understand, or are you just copying everyone? I'm sure you understand. Lolly, lolly, yes. Mm-hmm. Well, yes. This is third conditional. If you had bought a lottery ticket, you might. Now, this one we use might. We didn't, I tricked you. We didn't use would. Remember, we could use other modals would, should, could, and might. So it's okay. So if you had bought a lottery ticket, you might have won. So, yes, this is a third conditional also. Hello, Manish. And let's go on to number 4. Is this a third conditional, yes or no? If you gave me your email, I would have written to you. Gary, it's okay to be wrong. That's why we're here. We're here to practice. Don't worry, we're just here to practice. So is this third conditional? Layla says yes. Win says no. Sleepwalker says no. Shokpa says yes. Vincenzo says yes. Carrie says yes, question mark. Show some confidence, Carrie. Yes, it is. Yes, no. I think this one is confusing. Well, remember with our third conditional, we have to see a have and we have to see a had. Now, I see the have, but I do not see the had. All right. So no. If you had given me your email, I would have written to you. So that's the grammar you want to use for a proper third conditional. Mine got had or have. This thing makes me confused. All right, well, we got one more practice here. Is this third conditional? If I'd known you were in the hospital, I'd have visited you. If I'd known you were in the hospital, I'd have visited you. And Sleepwalker says yes. Rohan, yes. Win, yes. Shakba, yes. Carrie says yes. Layla says yes. Vishnu, yes. Everyone's saying yes, 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 yes. All right, so I tried to trick you because I used the contraction I'd. The first I'd, if I had known you were in the hospital, I would, there's two I'ds, I'd have and I would. I'd have visited you. So this is yes. Sorry, Marasanthi. This is a third conditional. All right. Now the next 5, you got to help me make the sentences. Fill in the blank. If we free, we would have gone with you. What possible words could I put there? Now, remember, we want to use had and have. We see the have, so we need to make something using had. The past perfect. Carrie says had been, and Layla had. No, had's not going to work. If we had free, no. If D had have had, and Ji Young had been, Aman Khan had been. Free means like free time. If I think you had, maybe you're trying, if we had free time, that's possible. But in this case, The best possible answer would be if we had been free, we would have gone with you. Had been. All right, let's go on to number 7. You could have been on time if you the bus. Now we see have, so we need had. What are we going to use with had? And Rohan had caught. Sounds great, Rohan. We need the past perfect here. Had taken the bus is okay. Had ridden, had taken, sounds good. Had taken, had caught, all of those sound great. I only used had caught. All right. But the rest of you, yeah, taken, ridden, gotten the bus. That's a little, if I had gotten the bus, it's possible, but a little awkward. All right, number 8, practice 8. She been tired if she had gone to bed earlier. So we see had. We need a have. Well, so she have been. Yeah, all right. Sleepwalker's thinking. Layla wouldn't have, would have. You guys are throwing words. She have been tired. That doesn't work. She would been tired. That doesn't work. And Rohan would not have been. Yeah, Sleepwalker. Oh, Layla and Rohan are getting closer. Layla hadn't been. All right, let's see what's happening here. I have she wouldn't have been. All right, I didn't put the would here. So remember, we do need the modal would, could, should, might, something like that. So would. And we want to make it negative. She wouldn't have been tired if she had gone to bed earlier. So again, the real story is she was tired because she went to bed late. So I would say she wouldn't have been tired. I got to use a negative of wouldn't. She wouldn't have been tired if she had gone to bed earlier. And Vincenzo, we already have she had, so we need a have. All right, you should have one have, one had. I try to make these a little tricky. All right, let's look at practice 9 here. If they come, I would have been disappointed. What's happening here? Layla jumps in with hadn't. Sounds good. Hadn't. Jiyoung, sounds good. Would, we already have. Marasani, we already have a would there, so we don't need would. Hadn't. All right, had not. Yes. All right, guys, you seem to have got that one. If they hadn't come, I would have been disappointed. So the real story is they did come and I was happy, but if we imagine the past, if they had not come, I would have been disappointed in the past. All right, and the last one. If you'd studied harder, you wouldn't have your test. Rohan. Good. No, Layla. If you studied harder, you wouldn't have. So the real story is you didn't study. So Aman and Layla, you got it backwards. We want to use failed. So if you had studied harder, you wouldn't have failed your test, which means the real story is you did not study hard and you failed your test. All right, so this one's practice 10. It's a little difficult. You got to think. Layla, well, I don't think anyone was perfect tonight. The third conditional is very difficult to master. It takes practice, guys. This video is not going to help you master the third conditional, but it helps you to think about it a little more. Aman Khan, I can see your message, but it's a bad word, and YouTube doesn't like bad words. So I can't post it, but I see it, Aman Khan. All right, the wrap up here. Any questions about the third conditional and homework? Write some example third conditional sentences in the comment section of this video. You guys are watching live, but if you're not watching live, if you're watching this another day, you can always write your the homework in the comments, and I will check it. Aman Khan, sorry. Don't say sorry. You know, this is YouTube. We can't say bad words on YouTube because they will be watching my live streams more carefully if I use bad words. And sometimes kids watch these live streams, so I try not to use any bad words. Vincenzo, good Sunday. It's a good Sunday. Layla, if I had been born in the USA, I would say I would. Okay. Thank you, Layla, for this example. That's a good example. If I had been born in the USA, I would say I would have had a better life. All right. I'm just going to correct that there. That's a good way to say that. I would have had a better life. And Sleepwalker, if I had known English perfectly, I wouldn't have made mistakes in that test at all. Yeah. Nobody knows English perfectly, not even me. Rohan, if I hadn't watched your videos, I wouldn't be good at... we don't want to... Here... I got to fix it up, Rohan. We got to use have and had. So if I hadn't watched it, I would have been bad. If I hadn't watched your videos, I would have been bad at grammar. That's what you want to say, Rohan. Layla, if I hadn't joined Robin's WhatsApp, I wouldn't have loved English like now. All right. Sounds good. It's not, let's see what's going on. Right, it's mixed conditional. We're just doing third conditional right now. So the mixed conditional is something like the present result of a past condition. So we're not doing mixed conditional. If I hadn't watched, I mightn't have. I think we say I might not have been. No, so okay, Wayne, I gotta help you out here. Let's take a look. So, if I hadn't watched your live stream, I might not. I don't know if we use a contraction. I don't think we use a contraction for might and not. Mightn't. I might not have been I might not have, you want to take out the being improved my English. Because we have our past verb there, improved. If I hadn't watched your live stream, I might not have improved my English. All right, that sounds a little better. If I had met you, we could have become good friends. We could have become good. Yeah, okay, you fixed that. Lolly, lolly. And you say, if I had met you. Well, you did meet me. If I had known about YouTube rules, okay. If I had known about YouTube rules, I wouldn't have. You forgot your would, Aman Khan. So we need that would. If I had known about YouTube rules, I wouldn't have and made any mistake. All right, that's what it's. All right, let's take a look here. I'm gonna go back to. I'm gonna go back to the main, so you can see. You can see me bigger. I would have spoken English very well if I had studied harder. All right. If Layla, good. Carrie, if I had studied hard in the past, I would. All right. So, Carrie, we need have somewhere, and I got to help you. If I had studied hard in the past, I would have lived my life happily by now. It's a little awkward, but sleepwalker. Mixed conditions are the most difficult. I'm not going to touch those. Maybe in the future. Vishnu, if I'd not learned that English, I you can't use won't. So if I had not learned English, I wouldn't be able to speak English. Let's say if I had not learned English, comma, I wouldn't be able to speak. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't have been able to speak English. Something like that. All right. If I had heard you, I would have done well. Okay. Oh, you guys have a lot of practice questions. Ji Young, if I had known he liked me, we would have gotten married. Was that? Are you telling us something about your life, Ji Young? Is that a true story? Rohan, if I had practiced speaking English enough, I would have been speaking English really, really good by now. If I had lived in another country, I would have invited Robin to my house. Yep. All right. If I hadn't watched your video, I wouldn't have learnt English. I wouldn't have learnt English. Shakba. Shakba. How do we, Layla, how do we make a question of third? You want third, RD, third conditionals, and Here's a question. What would you have done? What would you have done if you had been me? That's a question. It's just an imagination, Ji Young. I think you were lying. It is a true story. I would have spoken English if I had lived in the USA. Yes. But you do speak English, Win. If you had caught a taxi, you wouldn't have been late there. Yeah. Caught is C-A-U-G-H-T. All right. All right, guys. I'm going to finish up now. If you have more examples, you can just put them in the comments below. In about 30 minutes, I'm going to do a English Q&A on my Shaw English channel if you are a member. And you can join that. If not, I'll see you guys, where's that? Next Wednesday. I'll do the live Q&A on this channel for free, open to everyone. Thanks a lot. Again, this video is not really teaching the third conditional. It's more of a practice. It's very hard to teach conditionals by live stream, so I don't really try. Maybe I'll get a teacher to do that in a video in the future. So I'll see you guys Wednesday, and thank you for participating today. Bye, guys.